Does anyone remember wall boxes? Spray it with some Windex. I gotta clean this guy up. It's been in the closet so long, got moths and all kinds of mess in it. So I'm not gonna do like some super cleanup job. Just wanted to, so we can actually look at it here. So what is a wall box? So you got this little control here, thumb thing or spinner, and you could look at these jukebox songs. But it does not have a jukebox in it. It does not have an amplifier in it. It has a coin slot. And there's your thing, I guess. I think there would have been a light here. You have a left speaker here, right speaker behind that grill. Have a service button. And you got your volume control, high, medium, and low. And you select your thing. You see how it says C8 or D8. So 45 records would have 2 songs on it. So G8 there. Let's see. There we go. G8 would be Crimson and Clover by Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. And H8 would be Oh Woe Is Me. So Row AMI. This is probably late 60s, early 70s. By the 1980s, you had digital jukeboxes and digital wall boxes. This is an analog model. And yes, I have the key here. Let's see if I can remember which way it turns. So we took the whole front cover off, and I couldn't do it here. I don't have it on the stand, so it's kind of wonky, and it's really heavy, so it doesn't balance really well unless it's on that mounting plate or whatever. So we should be able to just pull this off of here, and there's your like relays and stuff. There's your coin mechanism, and that's kind of what I believe controls, you know, or communicates with the jukebox. The little card, I guess, to tell you how to wire it. And you control the price with this here, credit price switch position. Card back, and there's where you wire it into the system. I had everything working with my Row R86 jukebox a long time ago, except the coin mechanism. My initial original plans were to use this with the R86 and modify or replace the coin mechanism with one that takes tokens. So how does this analog system, how did it work with a digital system? And how did it work without an amplifier or a power supply? Well, it has relays, it has lights, and it communicates with a jukebox. So right? This would be your power supply that would mount inside the jukebox somewhere usually. And you would run the power cables out to your wall box. See, this is a Row AMI power supply for use with solid state wall boxes only. 3 amp fuse, and the innards are kind of exposed there. And you got the mounting screws. You know, I remember going to diners in the 1980s and stuff and seeing these wall boxes at every table. So you would hook, if you had multiple ones, you would use some sort of interface, a wall box interface. This guy's from England, so this one may not have been available in the US, but they would have had something like this, similar. As you can see, it uses a serial connection. If you wanted to accept bills like ones, and later they upgraded them to accept $5 bills, you would have to have a dollar bill thing, which you could add to the jukebox. So it would take coins and dollar bills and $5 bills eventually. You would have this OBA control unit to as like, I guess, the interface or computer or whatever that attaches to the dollar bill acceptor. This is your amplifier, and if I remember correctly, on the actual jukebox there would have been a panel that had your speaker outputs and stuff, and it would allow you to hook the outputs to wall boxes as well. Phono cartridge would hook in right there. You could play it in mono or stereo mode. These guys were pretty loud as well. They sounded so good compared to like a lot of just record players. that you might have had at home. Still doesn't tell you how we were interfacing an analog with a digital jukebox. In the olden days, you probably would not have been able to do it, but they have third-party companies that make an interface box that translates one type of wall box, one brand, to another jukebox, vice versa, and analog to digital. When I was planning to put the jukebox in my addition home theater room, I was going to have this guy interfaced at in my dining room, so kind of to mimic that diner theme, 50s, 70s, 80s. When I bought I bought 2 wall boxes. When I bought them, they were going for like $35. Nowadays they're really expensive because, hey, these guys were heavy. When there was an excess, no one wanted to store them. No one knew what to do with them. And now people actually make MP3 players and stuff out of these. They'll put, a little computer device or whatever, or an interface for iPod or whatever in these guys. And then they will sell these guys $300, $400, $500 or more. It might have a little amp, internal, external, hooks to the speakers, and some of them, or most of them probably have a control that you just click on, A1, A9, B6, whatever, and select that song. In the end, that jukebox was just too heavy for me to really mess with, so I ended up gutting it, getting rid of it. But I kept these, and maybe I will make a standalone player one day for them, or maybe just use them for, our theater system in the future, as a display or something. And nowadays, even if you have a jukebox and you want to interface with this, you don't have to have that big bulky power supply. You can get it in a little wall wart, power supply, because it's not really controlling that much voltage or current. And I have like so many memories of going to bowling alleys, skating rinks and stuff like that, arcades and pool halls, and them having jukeboxes, 45s, Pizza Hut and everything had them. Pretty much any diner, any little local eatery had them. Not all of them had the wall boxes. Some of them did, and it's just a neat, nostalgic experience. And I'm sure if I grew up in the 50s, I probably would have even more nostalgia for this kind of stuff.
Now let's bring back a lot of nostalgia. Just something different to celebrate our 100 subscribers.